What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Kid, and today we are back in Greenville taking a look at what I personally think to be one of the most fun cars to drive in Greenville overall. Not specifically to drive in winter, just overall to drive. This BMW M3 and M4 are the most fun cars to drive in Greenville. Now, specifically, you have to have your M3 or M4 in the competition rear-wheel drive trim. It doesn't have to be in this color or with these wheels, but the trim has to be competition rear-wheel drive, because the rear-wheel drive makes all of the fun happen. This BMW M3 and M4 are also some of the most controversial car designs of 2021. When they were released, so many people, including me, heavily disliked them and were still against these ginormous grills at the front. But over time, I grew to adapt to these grills, and I think this M3 and the M4 look absolutely beautiful, especially if you spec them right. There's still some people who are going to be in the comments saying, "Oh my gosh, that car looks so ugly," but personally, I don't agree. When you start this thing up, it sounds very good, and revving it sounds even better, but it is a little bit disappointing that an M3 doesn't shoot flames, but a Mercedes GLS 63 AMG does shoot flames, which is a 3-row SUV. Let's quickly go over the lighting. So you have brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, running lights in the back, headlights up front, and turn signals up front, along with your mirror turn signals. Now let's get to the reason that this is the most fun car to drive during the winter, and that would be, of course, since this thing can drift. On-road and off-road, this thing is, specifically on-road, this thing is incredible at drifting. Even going in a straight line, you can just go back and forth, back and forth. The rear tires spin and the back end just lets out so easily. Plus, that's matched by the amazing sound of this car, and that's matched by the amazing sound of this car. Now, it is a little bit difficult to control. Say if you were driving this thing as a daily in a roleplay server, that would be a little bit more difficult to drive this thing as a daily, just because even when you try and just naturally go around a corner, this thing tends to drift or even spin out if you're not that great of a driver. But besides that, and besides the fact that I keep spinning out, this has to personally be one of my favorite cars to drive in the winter, or just in general. It's so fun to drive. Now, I can imagine the all-wheel drive. I haven't driven the all-wheel drive, but I can imagine it's not nearly as fun as this thing. Now, I think all of the rear-wheel drive BMWs, the BMW M cars in Greenville, also drift like this. The M2 drifts, the M4 drifts, like I was mentioning before. As long as you get it in the rear-wheel drive trim and not all-wheel drive, your car will drift. So that is basically the only reason this thing is so fun to drive. But along with that, the launch on this thing is also incredible. So if I turn traction control on and launch it, it still doesn't burn out, but that 0 to 60 time is almost instant. It's so fast, this car, man. I mean, it's just incredible how fast this car is. And then if I turn traction control off, which is probably the easiest way to drift this thing, traction control on is the easiest way to actually normally drive it. But if I launch it with traction control off, it basically launches the exact same. I think the 0 to 60 would be a little bit faster if you do it with traction control on, but in total, it still has a very, very good launch. I'll put the prices on the screen here. I'm not going to go back to the dealership to talk about this thing. I'll just put the prices on the screen here. I don't believe it's that expensive. I mean, for a lot of people in Greenville, it is expensive, but nowadays, people in Greenville have millions and millions of dollars, like me, 1.1 million. I don't even have that much money compared to a lot of people in Greenville. I know a lot of people have much more money than me, but overall, if you have Game Passes, I think you need the Sports Game Pass. But if you have the Game Pass and you have the money, this thing is a great investment if you're looking for a super fun rear-wheel drive car to drive in Greenville. With that said though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be uploading many more videos now. I took a little bit of a break over Christmas, but we are going to be back uploading more videos, collabs, everything, Greenville roleplays, comparisons, everything, cars from the update, everything. So stay tuned for all of that. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button, please consider subscribing. Go join the Discord server, I'm Scared Fan Server, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.